The last place I worked, there was a guy that he was in a department that I would go visit occasionally to see if they needed help with IT stuff. I didn't actually talk to him there, but one day I saw him at lunch, and so I thought, I'm going to sit down, talk to this guy, find out why he has the most sour, off-putting, nasty expression on his face. So we had lunch, and I think it was at lunch that, because he later gave me a ride to work when he saw me walking, but no, I think it was at lunch that he begins to tell me about his home life and why he indeed might have such a sour expression. So what he tells me is that he lives in an apartment complex, and he's on the bottom floor, and he has a little patio out back, and directly above his patio, the neighbor above him has some Dobermans, and while the neighbor's at work, he puts the Dobermans out on the patio, and then in the evening he comes out with a couple of big pans full of water and washes off his deck so that all the dog poop comes down on John's patio. Then on weekends, on the floor above that, third floor, are some 20-somethings, and they hold big parties, and people get drunk, and then they come out onto the lanai or deck and vomit over the edge down onto John's first floor area. Well, you know, I kind of slowed down on eating my lunch, but mostly it occurred to me, well, geez, no wonder John is the most sourpuss, off-putting character I have ever seen. And later I began to think about that that's part of what goes on in the conflicts between rural and urban America. First off, a guy like John, as soon as he gets any money, is going to skedaddle way out of town, and then he doesn't want any critical area ordinances. He doesn't want any sort of interference with his life by anybody. He wants to live the way he wants to live, do what he wants to do. Cut down trees, build dams, shit in the creek. He just doesn't want to be annoyed or bothered by anybody else. But the other thing is, as long as John is living inside the city, and I say he represents an awful lot of us in this category, John is very much in favor of regulation and policing of people's behavior, because when somebody is washing dog shit off their patio down onto yours, and people are puking from the third floor down onto yours, or, you know, your neighbor once a month gets a goat out in the backyard and cuts its throat, skins it, guts it, and does a barbecue, or any number of the other things that people are likely to do without any thought or consideration of neighborliness, those people are going to be in favor of regulation and policing. But then, you know, the folks who like to puke off the third floor, what the hell do we need all this regulation for? I'm on the third floor. There ain't nobody above me. I don't need any regulation. So I was just listening to some gal from Somalia talking about that Somalia is the land of poets, and so she read this poem she had read about that immigrants are loud. We're loud in the grocery store. We like to be loud. We like to be loud in the grocery store. Well, we've kind of got it all worked out here, and it is pretty lame unflavored yogurt kind of life that we live, but that's what allows it to get along and not have somebody go up to the third floor and shoot the sons of bitches who are puking off the balcony.